Hey, there y'all go. How y'all doing, man? How y'all doing? How everybody doing today? Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good everything. I hope everybody's doing well. Thank y'all so much for everything. I appreciate y'all. I'm here to bring some positive energy today. Thank you, thank you. Thank you for clicking the video. Thank you. So today, we're going to be talking about Drake taking the biggest L in history. Yes, the biggest L in history, and he's crying about it. And we're going to get to that. Before I get into that, I got to give the legendary spill. This is Torture Talk. If you like the content, please consider subscribing. If you're new here, let me work on your subscription today. All the beautiful, single, sexy ladies, put one in the chat. All the fellas, y'all know where to find the ones at. Just don't harass them. I don't sell no merch, but I do have content absolutely free. But if you want to leave a donation, link is in the description. Cash App, no more PayPal. They called me the hidden gem. I went from 1,300 subscribers to over 13,000, 14,000, and now almost 15,000. Yes, it'll be real soon. Cash prize will be given out to the 15,000 subscriber on my Torture Talk After Hours. That page also just went to 1,000, and once I see the person, it's almost at 1,000. I believe it's like 8 more subscribers and it'd be 1,000. Yes, bam. If you say you are the 1,000 subscriber, you will win a cash prize. So you can run over there right now. You can be the 1,000 subscriber. All right, and I am the king of the north. Let me know what kingdom you from. All right, so let's get to it, man. This is gonna be a goodie. Stick with me. Torture Talk. You know what it is. All right, this comes courtesy of Fantastic Hip Hop. You know that. You know what it is. We love that channel. So let's go.
Now at this point, when it comes to Drake, there is no longer any debate on the fact that this guy isn't just the biggest loser in all of rap right now. But really at this point, when it comes to the entire 50-year plus lineage that has defined hip-hop, we have never seen a more pathetic and embarrassing figure ever, because after confusing the entire world by withdrawing his petition about his label UMG faking streams to boost the success of Not Like Us, Drake has quickly followed things up by doing one of the most disgusting and
Bruh, he said 50-year lineage. We never seen nothing as pathetic. I mean, listen, bro. You can't get around it. The boy is a doo-doo ball, and he's always gonna be a doo-doo ball. He's a doo-doo ball. And you know what the doo-doo ball is. Y'all know, listen, I coined that term, Drake the doo-doo ball, almost a year ago, right? But here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. That's I'm gonna get as a shirt. Here's the thing. He's not only just a doo-doo ball, he's a doo-doo stain. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I believe this is the reason why a lot of girls don't want to mess with Drake. And I believe that's why they don't stick around, because he got doo-doo stains in his dockers. On his drawers, his dockers, or whatever. He probably don't wear drawers. You know what I'm saying? He probably wear drawers. He probably wear, what they call them, crime fighters. You know what I'm saying? He probably wear crime fighters. And if anybody don't know what crime fighters is, look it up. Drake wears crime fighters. You know what I'm saying? To bed, he probably wears crime fighters. To the studio, look it up. You know what I'm saying? I'll tell y'all at the end of the video. You know what I mean? So stick with me. What crime fighters are. You know what I'm saying? But that's what Drake wears. Anyway, but this is what I'm saying. When you say he's pathetic, I think that's just funny in itself.
shameful thing someone who has ever called themselves a rapper ever could, as now beyond filing the most petty petitions possible, once again Drake has managed to outdo himself when it comes to looking like the most embarrassing figure that all of music has ever seen, as he just filed an official defamation lawsuit against UMG and Kendrick Lamar's Not Like Us record, and obviously as this is something that even the biggest losers in rap beefs in the past have never done anything close to, what Drake is trying to do here isn't just a betrayal to the rules of competition in hip-hop and an admission that he truly isn't anything remotely like anyone else who has ever called themselves a rapper, but this moment more than anything else is marking what is going to begin the true downfall of Drake's career in every single way remaining. And
now here's the thing, right? This is what I'm saying. The reason why I think that this is a bad move on Drake's part is because, well, I'm gonna say this. It's not even just a bad move. Forget the bad move part. when people say that Drake doesn't understand or Drake's not of the culture, this is exactly what they're talking about. See, in hip hop, you're supposed to go back and forth with people. Even if you're not directly dissing somebody, you always use certain terms. Like, for example, a lot of rappers always say they'll do something to somebody, but this like kind of forewarning you that they'll do this to you. To be like, yeah, you'd be like, cause I got your girl doing this, I got your girl doing that, and I'll do this to this, and I'll do that to that. That's how rappers be, right? They kind of forewarn you what they would do to you, but they don't really put it on a person. That's how you know rap is a competition. Drake kind of did the same thing. But the thing about Drake, and this is the reason why I say that a lot of people don't mess with him, is because he was insinuating things that he actually probably did to people's girls and people. You know what I'm saying? And who's ever writing most of his stuff, it's done so well that he masks it so well. He's a very good, they're very good, what they call them, not incognito, but elusive writers. Drake writers are very elusive. They can hide stuff within stuff that you won't know, and the normal person will think it's just bars. And the person that's happening to, they'll be like, oh no, I can't believe he said that. That's crazy. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm thinking. And that's the reason why I think that he's where he's at right now in his career.
Before we go any further into what this suit is saying and why it's the most embarrassing thing a rapper has ever done in the history of hip-hop, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. And so now with Drake. In this 81-page lawsuit, he is now going after his label UMG with, and of course is trying to change the entire perception of Kendrick Lamar's Not Like Us with. Which really, with all of the embarrassment Drake has caused because of this record at this point to his own image, he has more than proved that this isn't just one of the most impactful diss tracks ever, but it really is one of the most important songs in rap history, period. And now if you thought that Drake was reaching before this with his petitions that were trying to change the course of the most important rap beef ever at this point by using the word of other clowns like DJ Academics as fact, here things just get even more out of control, because beyond just the sad and pathetic reality of Drake becoming rap's first and biggest Karen, he is playing the victim card here in every way possible, as he is attaching himself to any identity he can possibly claim, which, just to butt in, considering the context of...
And that's what I'm saying. And I know what he about to say. He is attaching himself. Now all of a sudden, now you're attaching yourself to your Jewish side. So all the time, listen, bro. I want y'all to be clear here. If Drake says this is anything about anti-Semitic, then he definitely shouldn't be saying the word nigga. He shouldn't be saying the word nigga. I'm telling y'all now, there's no way in the world you could sit here and tell me that you okay with Drake using the word nigga, but then also saying that Kendrick Lamar is being anti-Semitic. You're like, come on, bro. Listen, come on, bro. Come on, y'all gotta give me that one, bro. You gotta give me that one, bro. You got to give me that one. There's no way in the world you can tell me that this dude is saying that he's anti-Semitic. And on top of that, you calling Kendrick a nigga. Like, come on. You can't. Yo, this is crazy. You can't make this up. I swear to you, you can't.
Not Like Us as a record and where it has brought us is really just lifting up Kendrick Lamar's points even more. And of course, Drake is tapping into all of these different victim roles so that he can whine about the fact that the success of Not Like Us has ruined him in so many ways. And of course, he can't accept that he lost the beef, and he thinks that there was this larger plan to ruin him all along. And now really, throughout these 81 pathetic pages that symbolize Drake trading away his legacy in rap to solidify himself as the most pathetic figure who has ever even been inside of hip-hop, when you go through every claim, which is calling out Not Like Us and nearly every single aspect about it, from its bars, melody, and all of its success, all in ways that are so disparaging to not just the masterclass Kendrick Lamar put on in the beef, but overall the art form and skill required to be a great hip-hop artist as a whole. When you just read some of the absurd sentences that Drake somehow thought would win the people back on his side, this moment is really solidifying the time where Drake has separated himself from the rest of the rap world, because while this is directly going after his label and Not Like Us, in the bigger picture of it all, with the precedent he is trying to set and the claims he is making, this isn't just about a label or Kendrick Lamar, but what Drake is arguing is going against all of hip-hop's past, present, and future MCs and moments.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And guess what? You're gonna start if Drake wins this, you're gonna see a bunch of artists doing the same thing. Yo, this could potentially shut the whole music industry down for a while, bro. Like for real. And I ain't saying this to say it like, oh well, this is something that needs to happen and Drake needs to do this. No. Do y'all agree with that? I mean, do y'all agree? Do y'all agree with Drake saying, do y'all agree with this whole thing? That Drake basically, I mean, listen, I'm talking to the Drake fans right now. Do y'all agree with that rappers should be able to sue for defamation? Do y'all agree with that? Y'all think rappers should go back, all the rappers that, like the drill artists or anybody, you think that they should go back and be able to sue the record label because their ops made a record and their ops said some things? You think that that's okay? That's all I'm asking. That's it.
Because to even think about the things he put into writing here, you have to misunderstand hip-hop on literally every single level. And now out of all the people that could have done this, having it come from somebody who has considered themselves a rapper in the past, it just makes this portrayal to the entire culture all the more confusing. And no matter how you want to put it, ultimately, Drake is really the most anti-hip-hop person to ever be a part of this genre in any shape or form. And now really, with all of these claims Drake is making, no matter what the context and what facts can prove otherwise already, just from remembering the timeline of events that happened in this back and forth with Kendrick, at every chance possible, we just see example after example of Drake dodging accountability. Because really, before we even look any further into the ridiculous claims Drake is saying to make any sort of impact against Kendrick and his label here, let's just remember that the guy who is doing all of this is also the same person who was begging Kendrick to drop more and more music. And even if we go back to a record like Tailor-Made Freestyle, he quite literally was setting himself up to get dissed about the things he is crying about here, and on a track like The Hard Part 6. He went even further as he rapped about how this was the angle that he expected. And now from the fact that the victim mentality Drake is playing here just does not align with the person he has portrayed himself to be before this back and forth with Kendrick for over a decade one bit, to also remembering the fact that Drake made just as and if not worse claims about Kendrick and his family on his record Family Matters. I mean, no matter how
That's the nail in the coffin that UMG's going to use against him. Like, well, didn't you say this about him? And didn't you say this about her? And didn't you say this about him? And wait, did you say this about him? And then you say this about him? And what about him? And then you say this about him? And then you say this about him? And what about him? And what about her? Didn't you say this about her? You said this about her, and him, and her, and him, and her, and him. They're going to go back and use everything that he has ever said about a lot of artists and a lot of people that don't even rap. And this is crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. We're going to really see. We're going to really see. We're going to really see. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm going to tell y'all what I think Drake is going to do. This is what I think Drake's going to do. I know y'all going to probably laugh. I know y'all think I'm crazy for saying this. Drake's going to claim that since he didn't write none of that stuff, that's not his fault. He just recited it, but he didn't write it. He might say that. You never know with this guy. You never know. He might say that. He might say, hey, I didn't write none of that. If you look, my name isn't even on there. Credit goes to that guy, so you got to question him about it, not me. Well, you said it. Just kind of like me doing a cover song. I didn't write it. I just recited it. Oh, man, bro. This is crazy work. Crazy, crazy, crazy.
Tries to frame these narratives. There is no chance he ends up convincing anyone of a fraction of what he is saying here with these papers, especially when you go through the 81 pages and see that basic information, like stating where Kendrick Lamar is from is just wrong, as he is definitely not from Oakland. And now if you're making mistakes like these, it's really just very telling about the effort that Drake is really putting into this. And now even with Drake and his team misinterpreting the lyrics of Kendrick Lamar's diss track so badly that they are reaching to new levels that we have never seen, and really with some of the ways they try to twist the meaning of Not Like Us and its message, when you actually just sit there and process what they are trying to tell us, it's absolutely some of the most insane ways someone could ever misread rap lyrics, and especially from somebody who has actually been in the genre for as long as they have, and of course Drake. And now making this bigger than just Drake and Kendrick's beef even. In this time where the ability to read rap lyrics and interpret them as art or perceiving them as the full-on truth has never not just been more in question by people outside of hip-hop, but it's also never been more important, as even with people Drake considers good friends and of course YSL and everything that happened with them. Using the same logic that Drake is using here with what just went down there. If you applied what Drake is trying to get across, then the outcome that we ended up seeing would be completely different, and this is why beyond Drake being pathetic and petty in this beef, this is all just so bad for rap music because Drake...
This is definitely bad for rap music. I will agree with that. I think that, to be honest with you, if Drake would have just... the song Not Like Us was going to blow either way. That's a big song. That's a big record. No matter what happens, no matter what Drake would have done, it's not going to stop. And the record is going to keep going up and up. It might be one of the most streamed records of all time. Like it might get up to the point where it might be the most streamed. I believe the most streamed record of all time is Blinding Lights. I believe that's the biggest record, most streamed records of all time. It's Blinding Lights, The Weeknd. It might pass The Weeknd's Blinding Lights. It might, because at this point, it's one of those records that it's kind of like Blinding Lights. It's a cultural phenomenon record, and it's a timeless record. You could throw that record on 20 years from now, and it's going to still go hard. You know what I'm saying? So I'm thinking that if Drake would have just went back to just making music and just pretended like the battle never happened, this probably wouldn't. All this probably would have happened, but I think letting Kendrick perform the song, I don't think it should even matter to him, because it's already heard. Everybody heard it already. So him performing it, ain't like people ain't never hear it. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. I wouldn't have went this far, but you know, they say sometimes when you go down a road, you can't turn back, and I think that's what happened with Drake. He went down this road and he said, "Fuck it, I ain't turning back. I'm gonna keep it going.
Is blurring the lines between creative expression like we have never seen it. And now with someone who has been considered one of the faces of hip-hop for over a decade now trying to remove the nuance and creativity from rap lyrics and seemingly try and push the narrative that everything being said is always literal, and if it's not, you have to go to these measures to prove it. Not just does this go against the rules of what every MC has ever known when they step into a booth or open up their notebook, but again, especially in the time we are at, this can really put hip-hop in a worse place than it ever has been, as now because of Drake's own ego and pettiness, he is trying to change the way rap lyrics have been crafted and perceived by fans and all of people for over 50 years. And now with the principle of this, beyond Drake just betraying every single rapper ever, and really at this point, every MC needs to see it like this, although we know of course not all will, Drake gets even more ridiculous with this suit by even going after content creators and streamers like Kai Cenat, as he said that their reactions to Not Like Us were all planned out by the label, and now with Kai specifically, as Drake literally called him and told him to stay on stream when Family Matters was about to drop. And now he is trying to say that Kai was always against him and he was in on this downfall of his career the entire time.
Bro, that's crazy. Yo, how you call Kai Cenat? I know I did this in the last segment, but it's just a big story, man. Everybody's talking about, so I gotta cover it. It is what it is. This is crazy. You saying that Kai Cenat has something to do with your downfall, bro? That's wild business, bro. And on top of that, this is how fake Drake is. Y'all know he called Kai Cenat when he was on Aiden Ross' stream, right? He called Kai Cenat. That's how fake this dude is. This dude he's not a real dude. He's fake. And it's crazy. It's crazy to see. But it is what it is. Just goes to show you what type of dude you're dealing with here. Let's keep it going.
Once again, Drake is showing just how fake of a person he is and how he is always trying to spin whatever narratives he can for his own gain, all while forgetting about the past conveniently. And really, the fact that even after making this entire thing official, the claims he is making directly contradicts his own actions from just a few months ago, you really just wonder why he would even make these claims if they can so easily be proven false. And now, as the internet is clowning Drake, like even for his horrible standards they never have, because this is the lamest move in hip-hop history and it's not even close, the one thing Drake fans are trying to use to make this entire situation look like something it's not is by defending him through mentioning how Drake is trying to claim that Kendrick's track made his entire personal life, including his family's, a lot worse. And while even with the fact that the way these claims are written, it is very clear that Drake is obviously trying to gain sympathy any way he possibly can by trying to create some sort of emotional connection and reason for others to get just as mad as he is in the first place. Again, if we hold Drake accountable for his actions, let's remember that he didn't just bring families into this thing first, and that Kendrick Lamar told him multiple times not to go this way, but then again, exposing the hypocrisy of Drake and how he only ever does things when it's convenient to benefit his own narratives.
That's 100% facts. We all know that Kendrick has broken this down to Drake several times. He told Drake, don't take it there. If you take it there, I'm taking it further. And it's something you don't want to do. Ooh, he said that. He said that. He told you. Tell no a lie about me, and I won't tell truths about you. Like, he said that. He's been telling Drake this. I know me and my cousin had a debate about this, and I told him over and over again. But for some reason, he just didn't get what I was saying. Like, bro, if I told you the rules of engagement and you break those rules, well, who is he to tell me what to rap or what can't rap? Okay, then you have to understand. Don't talk about my family. Don't talk about my wife. Don't talk about my kids. We can do whatever. Just don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Well, you can't tell me what to rap about. Okay, so now you're going to rap about that. And you know the crazy thing is, Drake really mentioned that in the last verse of the song Family Matters, where he said, Kendrick said he don't want to rap about that. And then he said, yeah, you started talking about the kids, so I started talking. No, he didn't, Drake. He didn't bring, he said that he said you wasn't a good father, but he didn't say you were a PDF in that whole song. You know what I'm saying? And he compared you, his father, the way he raised his kids to the way you raised your kid. That's what happened. But either way, let's keep it going.
He can't try to play this angle now when it's convenient because he has clearly never cared about the consequences of making his entire life so public before. But he was also dragging people who, unlike Drake, who has made his entire personal life public, keep a low profile into the most watched back and forth in hip-hop history. Which again is not just showing his disregard for the rules that him and Kendrick made in this beef, but is just showing that he is now complaining about something that he did even worse to other people. And so really, before even getting further into these claims, if we see that just by Drake constantly putting his family not just on his personal social media, but in music videos and even album covers in general, he can try to play this angle now when it's convenient because he has clearly never cared about the consequences of making his entire life so public before. And now, making this situation already even crazier, UMG already responded to Drake by saying, not only are these claims untrue, but the notion that we would seek to harm the reputation of any artist, let alone Drake, is illogical. We have invested massively in his music, and our employees around the world have worked tirelessly for many years to help him achieve historic commercial and personal financial success. Throughout his career, Drake has intentionally and successfully used UMG to distribute his music and poetry, to engage in conveniently outrageous back and forth rap battles to express his feelings about other artists. He now seeks to weaponize the legal process to silence an artist's creative expression and to seek damages from UMG for distributing that artist's music. And as they also went on to tell Drake that they will be ready to prove that he really is in the wrong for doing all of this, it's clear that after Drake fans were running around before this saying that Drake won this entire thing and that his label were the ones who were scared, that couldn't be further from the truth. And now really, for everyone to be...
Yeah, people was running around talking about Drake won the battle. I couldn't believe that. I want to talk to them now. I want to talk to y'all now. Now I want to talk to y'all. I want to talk to y'all now. I want y'all to come in the comments and say, hey, I want to debate you on this whole thing. I want to debate one of y'all Drake fans on why Drake won the battle. I want to debate. So if you're a Drake fan, just tag me and say, hey, I'm a Drake fan. I would like to debate you. And I'll give you my reasons why. No bullshit. I ain't going to get on here. I'm just going to debate you. I'm going to send you the link. And you could debate about why you believe Drake won. And don't get on here and be like, oh, I mean, bro, I'm just saying, bro. I mean, I get what you say. No, I want to debate. I want you to give me your points on how and why. I want to be like, damn, this guy might beat me in this debate because Drake, he might convince me. I need you to convince me that Drake, I may make a channel like that. Convince me otherwise. That's gonna be the name of the channel. Convince me otherwise. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to do that. I'm about to make a channel where I just debate people on topics about hip hop and stuff like that. All opinionated, but convince me otherwise. Yeah. I like that. Don't steal my name because y'all hear it here first. You know what I'm saying? So let's keep it going.
Siding with a record label over an artist, it has never been more clear how wrong Drake is. And really, they had a perfect statement to him, because they are just putting Drake in his place by stating the obvious, which is that on every single Drake record since he has been in the game, he has been dissing other rappers and doing the same thing Kendrick did to so many different people in the past, and of course, Drake's disses over the years like Back to Back did indeed have irreversible effects on somebody like Meek Mill's career. But even for how made fun of somebody like Meek is these days, as no matter what happened in a beef, he still knew he was a part of and respected hip-hop as a very culture, he would never even think to do something like this no matter how bad of a loss he took was. And even with someone like Ja Rule, who was considered to be the biggest loser of a rap beef ever before Drake, we really have to look at him differently and give him some sort of props because this is something that even he would never do. And so with this, altogether, as this is the point we are at, we're really compared to any other loss in rap.
Bro, I couldn't have put it no better than that. Ja Rule took the biggest L outside of Drake, and he didn't go and sue. That's crazy. So when people say he got Ja Rule, no, I think this is worse. Now it's going to be he got Draked. That's what it's going to be. He got Draked. Not Ja Rule no more. He got Draked. You know what I'm saying? Whenever you see a battle happen and somebody lose bad, just be like, he got Draked. He got Draked. That's what it is. He got Draked.
History. Drake doesn't just make those losers look like winners, but he makes them look like all-time greats. This really is the moment that is going to change everything in Drake's career in a way that we have never seen before. As now, since he sent out papers that are not just showing that he really is the biggest sore loser there ever has been, but that he is really trying to actively betray and ruin hip-hop and the nuance and creativity that rap music as an art form has always stood for, at this point there is no longer any chance Drake is ever making a comeback, as no matter what he does going forward, as his recent move is now trying to change the rules of rap music, there is no longer a way he can redeem himself. And now while Drake's case is being treated as a joke to everyone right now for the most part, because it is the most anti-hip-hop thing that has ever been put into reality, and just the concept of something like this existing is just so wild, if this gains any traction somehow and as Drake and his fans try to push the narrative that he is in the right, it will end up having horrible effects on everything, not just in rap, but music and entertainment as we know it. But at least right now, as everything stands, Drake winning this thing is nearly going to be impossible, because everything he is presenting to us is just so obviously false. And so really going forward, it seems like this choice Drake made over everything else will really mark the actual end of his career and will ruin whatever legacy was left as well. Because for doing something this bad to all of hip-hop, it really takes away from everything else you have ever done as a whole. And so now with
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. I mean, at this point, you can't be really surprised about, certain things. I mean, hip hop is has been a genre to me. It's been very polarized. It's one of those genres that's so unique to its cause, and you have to understand. People get hurt off of hip hop. People give life off of hip hop. It's one of those things, man, where this genre is very, very deep in certain spaces, I would say. And some people have this thing about hip hop where they feel like hip hop is the worst thing ever. And some people have this thing where they say hip hop isn't music. And some people have this thing where they say hip hop is music and it's the greatest thing ever. But the one thing I will say is you have to be really, really responsible from the things that you say in hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Because although we live in a free speech world, as a content creator, me personally, I can't say certain things because I have to be responsible for what I'm saying. And I'm going to explain to y'all why I believe that Kendrick Lamar is right about what he did, and Drake's wrong. One thing I could say is being an influencer, and I don't even have 15,000 subscribers. Now imagine if I had 1 million or 2 million, 3 million. There's some content creators have more subscribers than actual artists. Some of them have subscribers, they have way more subscribers. If they was to do an album, they probably would go platinum because they have fans who do anything for them. You know what I'm saying? If Kai Cenat was a rapper and he decided to do a rap album, he'll go platinum. He'll probably go platinum in 2 weeks. Because you got to figure, he said he was giving away a PlayStation in New York. And I believe like 40,000 people or something like that showed up. Or for a PlayStation. Come on, bro. You know what I'm saying? PlayStation 5. But they showed up for him. You know what I'm saying? He had to run, get in the truck, run, and all this stuff. So you have to be real careful. The reason why I say Kendrick Lamar is in the right because of free speech. And on top of that, Kendrick Lamar warned Drake. He warned Drake. He didn't just say, oh, no, I'm just going to start rapping about you. No. I really genuinely believe Kendrick Lamar didn't want this to go that far. He really didn't want. I don't believe that he wanted to do all that. I believe he just wanted to go back and forth with Drake. I believe those songs, some of those songs were probably, they were ready. And I believe that not like us it had to be written. The way he wrote it, it was probably written in the same day. After he heard finally, he probably worked on that joint all night in the studio. You know what I'm saying? And then it came out the next day. But you figure, not like us, the last part he addressed what Drake said. But the other parts could have been in there already. But just imagine if he would have did Not Like Us, and he took out the pedophile line, the pedo line, and he took out the other line, it still would have been a fire song. No matter what, it still would have been fire. You know what I'm saying? I think he changed some bars around, but it would still been fire. And I think that's what Kendrick wanted to do. He wanted to go back and forth with Drake, and if him and Drake would have went back and forth like that, it would have probably been a better battle. And on top of that, they both would have been going back and forth on top of the charts. But see, Drake, he a narcissist, and he has to win by trying to do you dirty, saying things that defame your character. But he the one that got slapped upside the head. That's what happened. But you got to be real responsible about what you say. And Drake should have known when Kendrick told him, you know what I mean, if you take it there, I'm gonna take it further, and that's something you don't want to do. He should have said, nah, I don't really want to take it further because look, this lawsuit proves that that's something he didn't want to do because he's filed a lawsuit against Kendrick. So, but we're gonna be talking about this for a couple of days, man, because this is pretty big news. Thank y'all for joining me. I really appreciate y'all, man. All right, man, I'm out of here. I'll see y'all. Peace. Bye.